Bloomberg Radio. I'm John Tucker, and that's your Bloomberg Business Flash. Paul and Tom.
John, thanks so much. We've really ignored it this morning. My failure. I'm glad Paul brought it up as well. And Nathan Dean, expert on this, senior U.S. policy analyst for Bloomberg Intelligence. And this is on the DHS battle in TSA. The Houston Chronicle, for example, IAH Bush Airport sees another day of long TSA waits. Nathan, when you were at the Capitol Grill, I mean, he comes in late. He doesn't come in at 5.
No, exactly, no.
It's 6:30 at the Capitol Grill. Nathan Dean, is anybody in Washington legitimately outraged by this outrage?
Well, you said Friday afternoon. I mean, most policymakers leave on Thursday night. So, but, this is the situation where it comes in every shutdown where America says that they've had enough. And that really happened this past weekend. But the problem is, and the reason why we're seeing negotiations taking this place with no fruit, if you will, is that Democrats are looking at their own party and they're saying, look, we have a position that we're strong here. Republicans are looking at their party and they're saying we have a strong position here. It's those independents that are fed up. And neither side really right now is feeling that desire to negotiate. But I will say is we have a 2-week shutdown that starts on Friday. And shutdowns, I hate to say it, but recesses, I hate to say it, are actually good catalysts to getting deals done because nobody wants to be here, especially for 2 weeks gone. And, when President Trump says that he wants to have all the Republican senators at the White House for Easter dinner, they don't want to be here. They want to be home in their districts.
Okay, but did this start? This was at the dinner last night. Oh, it was great. Swanson TV dinner.
Solid.
Yep. Mrs. King cooked it up a storm. Nathan, did this start with Ronald Reagan where government is no good? I mean, is that basically the distilling here of 40, 50 years of Fed government is bad?
Well, I think it's also that plus the idea of the state versus federal government and who has the power here. Because if you just think of presidential, candidates, President Obama and, Biden, these are Washingtonians. President Trump obviously is an outsider. But, as we're going into 2028, you're starting to see the trend come back a little bit towards state governors. Think of Bill Clinton, if you will, Jimmy Carter. And so, it's just this ebb and flow between who is the actual power of the American government here. Is it the feds or is it the states? And I think over the last 10 years, and we're starting to see this amongst the House of Representatives, most members of the House are looking at their districts and saying, those are the individuals that I'm here to serve, not the American people writ large. And that's why you get more partisanship, because these members are saying, look, if I don't serve my people back home, I'll face a primary challenge and then I'm out. So I have to do what's best for my district.
I hate to play the blame game, and it's such a waste of time, but do we know who in reality has the ability to drive this process through to get this partial shutdown fixed and get the TSA people paid? Who's really in charge here?
So there's 3 parties. You have Senate Democrats, Senate Republicans, and the White House. And when it comes to the Senate, there's only about a handful of them negotiating. Senator Katie Brick from the Republicans, Senator Cortez Masto for the Democrats, Angus King, the independent, is in there as well. They're negotiating. These are the same individuals that resolved the last shutdown. What they will do is they will try and come up with a deal. They'll then go to leadership, Senator Chuck Schumer, Senator John Thune, and that leadership will then come back and say yay or nay, and then ultimately that goes to the White House. Now, when Speaker Johnson over the House says, look, he's going to send his people home, he doesn't matter all that much. The House is going to do whatever the Senate says on this.
Can I do an audible?
Sure.
Okay, with Nathan Dean, folks, I mean, he's encyclopedic on all this stuff. Nathan Dean, I remember the day that Andy Lack, who was such a big influence on me, all of his work at NBC, working at Bloomberg, and Mr. Lack did something with Voice of America, and he was almost in tears, like it was like a national, event to handle Voice of America. Voice of America disappeared. And I guess it's coming back even 2 days ago. Are we going to see more of this? A resurrection of things that President Trump did away with?
I think so. I mean, let's look at DOJ writ large. I mean, DOJ obviously came in the first year of the Trump administration and cut a lot of things, USAID. And there are a lot of folks on both sides of the aisle saying, look, I may not agree with the program and how it's being run, but the program was created for a certain reason. And so we have seen steps from the Trump administration to quietly bring things back. And so I wouldn't be surprised if you see this happen, especially as we go further into the Trump administration. But, as I remember, just the way the U.S. politics works is that it swings and, back and forth. And so if we have a Democrat president in 2028, a lot of what you're going to see from the regulatory front, from the structural perspective, is going to come back. And that's just how Washington works.
I mean, are the Nationals not an embarrassment? Are you going to be out at opening day, Washington Nationals?
I'm a White Sox fan and a Nats fan, so I'm going to hold my head in the sand this year and say,
my God,
bring me
that's
2027.
painful. I hope the medication works. Nathan Dean, thank you so much. I wait for the White Sox to come back.
I mean, ever?
Ever.
I don't
it's
know.
Like ever. That's painful. Nathan Dean does such a great job, folks, for Bloomberg Intelligence there. And it's all the stuff I ignore, like really nitty-gritty policy stuff. And he's really, the whole TSA thing, I don't get. If I'm a congressperson, I'm looking at the videos. Is it Newark like this?
No, it's been better, but there have been days when it's like that. But I mean, how can a world-class airport like Houston have that chronic problem? 4-hour waits? Come on.